My name is Ania Swiatlowska. I am a graphic designer, and for last 3 years I've been working at the Museum of Warsaw, where I had the opportunity to participate in the makeover process, designing and implementing the new visual identity for the museum. It was a very challenging but also very rewarding process, and in 2014 we launched the new visual identity. Now, 2 years later, it seems to be working the way we intended, and I think it's safe to say that it has been a success. So we would like to share the experience and the final result with you, especially that in this case the typography was an extremely important point. The presentation is divided into 2 parts. First, I will very briefly say what the visual identity is so that we are all at the same page. And then we will go through the Museum of Warsaw case study, learning a little bit about the museum, the problem, the change process, the solution that we implemented, including type challenge, and then I will show you the final result. The visual identity, as you all know, is not only a logo, it is a system which consists of such elements as logo, color, typography, shapes, etc. And only as a whole it creates a coherent image of the institution. The main objectives are to create the brand, to build brand awareness, to provide effective visual communication. The Museum of Warsaw, until 2 years ago, worked under the name of the Historical Museum of the capital city of Warsaw. It was founded in 1936, which makes it the oldest museum in the city. The headquarters are located in 11 historic tenement buildings in the old market square, and in 1980 they entered into the UNESCO World Heritage List. Apart from the headquarters in the Old Town Market Square, there are also 6 divisions and 3 additional locations all over Warsaw, so as you can see it is a lot. Main fields of activity of the museum are research, exhibitions, education, publishing, conservation, cultural events, and many more. So it's a pretty wide range of activities for such an institution. The problem with the visual identity of the Historical Museum of the capital city of Warsaw was that, first of all, there wasn't any. The museum had this logo, but not much else. As you can see, this logo looks a little bit outdated. It does not communicate a friendly, inspiring institution worth visiting. On the contrary, it communicates a rather slightly boring, obsolete institution where you go if you're forced to, which actually was also my case, because before I started working there, the only time I went to this museum was during the obligatory school visit. And I'm from Warsaw, so if I wanted to, I could go there. The colors used in this logo, yellow and red, are the official colors of the capital city of Warsaw. This is how the museum looked from the outside. There was no visual communication strategy nor brand awareness developed. The museum was not very frequently visited, and also there was a huge problem with the divisions. People were usually very surprised to find out that the nearby printing museum or the pharmacy museum were part of the Historical Museum of Warsaw. As you can see, it does not look very inspiring. So something was definitely not working, and so we decided to change, to start the change process. Right now the museum is going through a renewal. The Old Town Market Square buildings are being renovated, and in 2017 the new main exhibition will open there. So far it looks like it's going to be a good one, so everybody feel invited for May 2017 for the grand opening. This is how the situation looks right now. The changes, of course, apply also to the image of the institution. The new shorter name, Museum of Warsaw, and the new visual identity system are the biggest challenges that we faced in the museum in the last time. The change process can be divided into 3 parts. The research, the designing, and the implementation. In January 2013, the decision to redesign the image of the institution was made, and so the research process began. We had a lot of brainstorming. At that time, we defined the message that we want to transmit, how the museum is supposed to be, how do we want to communicate it. And also we defined some objectives and possible problems and challenges that we could be facing during the process. In September 2013, the designing began. During all that time, we were communicating the progress to the employees of the museum so that everybody felt included. This is very important during any rebranding process. In April 2014, the name was changed to the shorter one, Museum of Warsaw. And at the last stage of the designing process, just before launching the new visual identity, we did some consultation with external experts. The reason we did that is that at that time I was the only designer in the museum, so I had no one to bounce off my ideas, and we thought it would be a very good idea to double check with some experts from the field. The feedback that we got was pretty satisfying, so in June 2014 we launched the new visual identity. And the implementation process began. We published the brand book, we launched a new website, we did some brand training with the employees. And in January 2015, the renovation of the headquarters began. In May 2017, we plan to open the main exhibition, which would be the closing point for the change process. Now, going back to the research stage, what do we want to communicate? This is very important to understand in order to be able to understand the solutions that we later implemented. So what we want to communicate are basically two things. First of all, Museum of Warsaw is an open, accessible institution of culture which tells the story of Warsaw in an engaging, multidimensional way in the context of the past, the present, and the future. And also, it is modern, but preserves its academic nature as well as strong relationship with the history. So from the visual communication point of view, we have two different messages. We need to combine the modern, contemporary one with the old-fashioned history attached one. The objectives that we defined were mainly to create an outstanding brand, of course, to meet the complex communication needs that we just mentioned, to reach all social age and language groups, since the visitors of the Museum of Warsaw are basically everybody, which is a very demanding group, to identify the divisions of the museum, problem I mentioned earlier, to create a visual identity that would be very strong and very flexible at the same time in order to coexist with the visual identities of exhibitions, events, publications, without damaging the brand consistency. And also very important for public institution to avoid unnecessary expenses. The challenges are the complex profile, the very wide range of activities, 6 divisions, 10 locations, none of them identified, very diverse set of recipients, and the limited budget. The new visual identity is based on 3 still elements, the logo, the colors, and the typography. The new logo is based on the Shield of Warsaw, the legendary mermaid from Vistula River. This is a very recognizable historic symbol commonly associated with the city. In the collections of the Museum of Warsaw, we have over 400 different mermaids in printings, photographs, crafts, maps, etc. And the new logo combines this historic symbol with some modern graphic forms. As you can see, it is a strong monochrome sign which reflects the complex profile of the institution. The new colors are dark blue combined with white, dark gray, and clear gray. This new main color, dark blue, is not associated with Warsaw in an obvious way. Normally, as I said, the real Warsaw colors would be yellow and red. 2 problems with that. First of all, this set of colors hardly ever looks good. And second, these colors are usually associated with public administration offices, not with contemporary culture field. We selected this color as the main one for the identity because of the association with the river and the mermaid. Also because it gives us certain distinctiveness and originality, since no other institution uses this color in Warsaw, and also because it guarantees large diversity of visual language, because depending on how you arrange the colors, you can achieve both very progressive and formal visual language. Also because of the economic reasons, these are basic standard colors, and we can achieve the desired effect without reaching to very complicated, costly techniques. During the entire process of working on the visual identity, we were very carefully selecting the typeface, since this was an extremely important element in this project. we were looking for a sans-serif font that would have a neutral and universal visual character, and that would fit the logo in the first place, but also one that has diverse styles, weights and widths, provides advanced typographical features, has complete range of figure set options, supports multiple languages, including, of course, Polish, but also complete writing system in Cyrillic, because we have a lot of Russian-speaking visitors. Has a well-developed web version and nicely designed, good-looking digits, because in museum text we use, of course, a lot of dates. And also, to make things even more complicated, we were looking for a typeface that would be suited for diverse purposes, such as posters, packaging, editorial, publishing, small text, large text, signage, exhibition navigation, which would allow to create a graphic communication of both classical and progressive nature that would be strong enough to give a specific character, but transparent enough to fit diverse visual languages. Preferably is designed by a Warsaw type designer, since we are Museum of Warsaw, and has a compatible serif font family. So as you can see, we're basically looking for a super font. We had a very long and painful thinking process. It took us several months to find something suitable, but then finally we found perfection, good and more. Good is straight-sided sans-serif typeface in American Gothic tradition, and it was developed together with more by Łukasz Dziedzic, Warsaw-based type designer. They were created as a team, so they work very well together. Good has all the possible styles that anyone could ever need, and also it has an additional sibling Good headline, which is more compact. So this gives us an incredible total of 196 styles altogether. Good works great with small, longer text and headlines. It offers advanced typographical features that we were looking for. It has complete range of figure set options, and they do look good. It has complete Latin-based and Cyrillic writing system, including great Polish diacritics, which lets us write our beautiful Polish words such as źdźbło, mądrość, wspaniałomyślność, and they look very good. It is ideally suited for web design, graphic design, editorial, packaging, interface, advertising, exhibition, wayfinding, and signage. And also, last but not least, despite having something of an old-fashioned heritage, it does feel new, and this is exactly the duality that we were looking for. The final result is this. This is the new logo for the Museum of Warsaw. It works in color and in grayscale, horizontal and vertical version, in English, and also some logo options for the divisions of the museum. This is how the visual identity works in practice. These are some brand items, official documents, website and mobile app, the calendar, a logo embossed on paper, the museum guide, which you all received in your goodie bags at the conference, the cup, some brand items and gifts, wrapping paper with logo, tickets. Again, the guide and the bag again, and our colleague Radosław. Notebook. Here you can see how the typeface works for exhibition navigation and signage, and also how it was combined with some pictograms and icons designed for the museum. Here how it works on the map. Our colleague Julia with the map. Now let's have a look how the typeface matches different visual languages, but still maintaining the brand identity. Warsaw calendar and notebook for 2016, both Good and More were used here. So this is how it looks. Caro exhibition about Warsaw pharmacist who lived in early 20th century. As you can see, totally different visual style, but the same typeface and still identifying Museum of Warsaw. Auction catalog for sculptures. Again, completely different style, same typeface, Good and More. Vanishing Landscapes exhibition about Warsaw poet Miron Białoszewski. Here you can see how the typeface works great for the poster, the flyers, the map, and all the promotional materials of the exhibition. And Brick City for Kids, architectural workshops. Here good was combined with some handmade typeface made for the project. And it also worked great. So that's all, folks. Thank you very much, and hope to see you all in 2017 at the grand opening. Dziękujemy.
Thank you very much.